The second Puttler released, I was terrified. Not in a dramatic way, just that pit in your stomach after hitting publish on something you've poured months and months into and thinking, what if there's a game-breaking bug? What if nobody plays it? What if the wishlist don't convert? What if this? What if that? If you've released a game before, you probably know the feeling. What I didn't know, however, was that a few weeks later, everything would change. But first, to explain why Puttler meant so much, I have to go back a bit. Puttler wasn't my first game with Max, who is the owner of Jinko Studios, and who I've honestly felt like has been a mentor to me through all of this. Before Puttler, we made Jinko together, and Jinko was where I learned what game development really is. And what that is hard. Like genuinely, atrociously hard. For Jinko, I implemented the leaderboard, which sounds relatively simple until you're a first-time developer learning API calls, a brand new library, C#, Unity, all at the same time. All on a real game that's going to be seen by real people. There were moments where I seriously had my doubts, where I just wanted to quit entirely, throw my computer out the window and never see it again. But then, it worked. And that feeling of something you built actually working is unlike anything else. There's this sense of pride, but also, in this case, of relief. I'd also handled the custom level editor for Jinko, which I'm still pretty proud of to this day. Code creation, sharing, modifiers, saving and loading player stats, stuff I had no idea how to even begin doing when we first started. So through all of that, Jinko has taught me that game development is one of the hardest, but also one of the most rewarding things you can do. Sometimes both in the same afternoon. And finally, after all that work, Jinko released. And after riding that high of finishing my first game, pouring blood, sweat, and tears into it, the weeks after release were a lot quieter than I'd hoped. Don't get me wrong, the community we had was genuinely awesome. There were moments during Jinko development that reminded me why this was worth doing, why I was doing this. But the numbers after release told a different story, and I'd be lying if I said that doubt didn't creep in. Is this actually a real path? Is this a viable career? Or is this just some stupid little hobby? But after Jinko, we started Puttler, and something felt different from pretty early on. You see, there's this thing that happens when you're testing a game and a level just clicks. Where you build some stupid, ridiculous contraption and it works exactly how you needed it to. And you sit back like, yeah, this is good. And Puttler had a lot of that. Max and I built it pretty similar way we did Jinko. Max leads, and I handle a lot of the backend stuff like saving, loading, Steam integration, core systems, while he basically does the rest. But this time, we both knew something. We both knew we had something. We just didn't know how much. Finally, after months of hard work on this game that we saw a vision with, it's release day. The wishlists were solid, and logically, I knew that they would most likely convert. But logic doesn't really help when you are refreshing the page every 5 minutes waiting for something to go wrong. But somehow, nothing went wrong. People played it, and they seemed to actually enjoy it. But then, something happened that I could never see coming. I don't remember exactly when I saw it, but I remember the feeling. Boom Gonza? Making a video on our game? And then Real Civil Engineer making one too? I was absolutely astounded. It just didn't feel real at all. Two popular YouTubers that I absolutely loved, making videos on a game that I had a big part in making. Are you serious? And then to add on to that, the numbers, they just kept building and building and building in a way that I had never seen before. And the reviews, they kept on coming, and they kept on being positive. And right now, Puttler sits at a 95% positive review rate on Steam. With over 200 reviews. That is when the doubt went away. Not some slow burn, just instantly went away. Because while Jinko has also always had a perfect review score, Jinko only has a handful of reviews. Puttler's reviews are real people who found the game themselves and liked it enough to say so, not just friends or fans being nice. So, Puttler had taught me something that Jinko could never. That this is real. Not real like I'd figured something out, some secret formula or figured out game development, but real as in like, this is a career path that actually exists for me. My skills are real, the games we make are real, the people that play them are real. I was no longer just someone who coded games for fun. I was a game developer. Now, that was all about a year ago today, and since then I have started this channel, which has been a lot of fun, and Jinko Studios has also been growing. we've got a wonderful new team member, and we're currently working on our most ambitious but best game yet, Desktropolis. But today, I just wanted to mark the moment. 1 year since Puttler, 1 year since I knew this was it. I want to do game development. If you're somewhere in your own journey right now, in the Jinko phase, doubting yourself, refreshing your own page every 2 seconds, I hope you get your Puttler moment too. It's coming, I promise. Thank you so much for watching.